healthy population is an essential element of inclusive development and nation building. Universal access to quality health care is not only a social necessity, it is also an imperative for economic growth and prosperity. An unhealthy population imposes enormous social and economic costs on society and hinders sustainable development. Since independence, we have made notable progress in medical sciences and healthcare. Our healthcare system today is a mix of public and private sector providers of health services. Networks of healthcare facilities at the primary, secondary and tertiary level, run mainly by the state governments, provide free or very low-cost medical services. There is also an extensive private healthcare sector covering the entire spectrum from individual doctors and their clinics to general hospitals and super specialty hospitals. Due to the efforts of the government and the private sector, almost all indicators of health in the country have shown a positive trend. Life expectancy has increased, infant and maternal mortality has gone down. Due to large-scale immunization and vaccination programs, many communicable diseases have been controlled, if not totally eradicated. High-quality preventive and curative care is now available within the country for treating complicated diseases and performing complex procedures. India is also emerging as an important destination for what is termed as medical tourism. However, despite our achievements, we cannot afford to sit on our laurels. Much more needs to be done before we can claim to provide high-quality, affordable health care to all our people. Our healthcare system still suffers from major weaknesses. Some of the important issues ailing the healthcare system could be summarized as follows. 1. Availability of healthcare services is quantitatively inadequate, both in terms of physical infrastructure and trained manpower, including doctors, nurses, auxiliary nurses, and midwives. The overall shortage is exacerbated by a wide geographical variation in the availability across the country. Rural areas are especially poorly served. 2. Quality of healthcare services varies considerably in both the public and the private sectors. Many practitioners in the private sector are actually not qualified doctors. Regulatory standards are not adequately defined and, in any case, are ineffectively enforced. And 3, affordability of healthcare is a serious problem for the vast majority of the population, especially in tertiary care. Lack of extensive and adequately funded public health services pushes large number of people to incur heavy out-of-pocket expenditure on services purchased from the private sector. These problems are likely to worsen in the future as our large population continues to grow. Healthcare costs are expected to rise because with rising life expectancy, a larger proportion of our population will become vulnerable to chronic, non-communicable diseases which typically require expensive treatment. The public awareness of treatment possibilities is also increasing, and this in turn increases the demand for medical care. In the years ahead, we will have to cope with health problems reflecting the dual burden of disease, that is, dealing with the rising cost of managing non-communicable diseases while still battling communicable diseases that will remain a major public health challenge, both in terms of mortality and disability. The much desired goal of provision of high quality, affordable health care for all will have to be addressed with the urgency and seriousness that it rightly deserves. Its realization will have to be a collective effort of the government, private sector, and the non-profit sectors. The cost of not doing so, ladies and gentlemen, is evident. According to a 2005 WHO study, the estimated economic loss to India due to death caused by all diseases was 1.3% of the GDP. With an increase in the number of non-communicable diseases, this loss, if not checked, is apprehended to increase to 5% of GDP by the year 2015. The Planning Commission of the Government of India has concluded that deaths due to non-communicable diseases alone, which already account for nearly half of all deaths, are expected to rise cumulatively, and India stands to lose $237 billion during the decade 2005 to 2015, if timely interventions are not made. Similarly, communicable diseases are also major causes of morbidity and mortality, leading to lower levels of economic activity, missed educational opportunities, and a direct negative impact on growth due to high healthcare costs. Against the backdrop of larger healthcare issues that I have just mentioned, the relevance and importance of plastic surgery as an important area of medical sciences tends to get overshadowed. More so because some people erroneously consider plastic surgery as a luxury rather than a necessity, which exists only to feed the vanity of human beings. Lack of access and affordability of plastic surgery enhances this misperception amongst the masses. However, as we are all aware of the importance of this branch of medical sciences, plastic surgery, consisting of cosmetic and reconstructive surgery, addresses not only aesthetics or appearance aspects of a patient, but reconstructive surgery improves functionality after injury or illness of an individual. In the area of prosthetics and reconstructive surgery, plastic surgery has become a solution for many people who have lost limbs or suffered disfiguring ailments or are born with congenital diseases to lead normal lives and make positive and productive contribution to society and economy. For me personally, the 2008 Oscar Award-winning documentary film, Smile Pinky, on the life of a poor girl in rural India whose world is transformed through a corrective surgery on her cleft lip tip, is the most powerful advertisement for the cause of plastic surgery. Plastic surgery has emerged as one of the most beneficial and crucial medical procedures in the world. People born with physical deformities and others that have been in tragic accidents and suffered from injuries that have altered their physical appearance are able to restore themselves both physically and psychologically through undergoing plastic surgery. Changing one's appearance can also have a powerful impact on the way a person feels emotionally. It boosts his or her self-confidence and results in the patient living a far happier life, value of which cannot be quantified, and be generally more productive in daily activities. Friends, given the sheer size of our populace, it is logical that the target population in need of reconstructive plastic surgery will also be very large. So is the complexity and variety of diseases and deformities, congenital or accidental, with which they are afflicted and need treatment for. Abject poverty and growing inequality prevailing in our society compounds the problem. The challenge for you, ladies and gentlemen, is making available the unbelievable benefits of modern procedures in plastic surgery to the masses, especially to the poor and the needy. This corrective would obviously have to address the three issues of quality, affordability, and access in plastic surgery. My appeal to this distinguished group is that while performing your professional duties in your careers, please keep in mind the need of the deprived sections of our society who do not have the wherewithal to benefit from your knowledge and expertise in order to ameliorate their existence. It is incumbent on each one of us as a solemn duty as citizens of this great country to do our bit in this regard. I understand that you have a comprehensive program and agenda for this conference. I am confident that your discussions and sharing of experiences over the course of this conference will be productive and useful. New ideas and solutions to the vexing problems would come out of your deliberations. I wish you all success. I thank the organizers for having invited me. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.